Lawyers acting for hundreds of men who claim they were abused at a former youth detention centre have accused the government of dragging its feet in paying compensation. Almost 1,100 men have now come forward after Durham police announced they were reopening an investigation into sexual and physical abuse at the centre in Medomsley. 2 prison staff were jailed for a series of sex offences against young men there. Both have since died. Chris Jackson has this exclusive report.
I was sentenced for theft of my employer.
Dave Stoker was just 17 when he was sent to Medomsley Youth Jail near Concert. He worked in the kitchens, and there, like scores of other young men, he was repeatedly sexually abused by the prison cook, Neville Husband.
He says if this gets out, he says he would make me life hell. I was just trying to tell anybody because I didn't think anybody would.
You're right, sorry, Dave. Sorry.
The abuse suffered by Dave Stoker and dozens like him is simply too shocking to report, but the attacks continued across the 20 years Husband worked at Medomsley. He was eventually brought to justice in 2003 and was jailed, and has since died. A team of Durham detectives are now investigating sexual and physical violence at Medomsley, dating from the 1960s through to the mid-1980s, when the prison closed. This is the largest investigation ever undertaken by Durham Police, and officers are currently talking to a number of former prison guards. Alistair Smith represents 90 former Medomsley inmates and says the brutality they suffered has left lifelong scars.
I've had grown men in their 50s, 60s, who've just been in tears as they've looked back at what's happened to them. And you can see them looking in and seeing Medomsley when they were 16, 17, 18-year-olds. And the hurt that's there, and the feeling that they've kept this to themselves for 30 or 40 years.
Well, it turned us to drink. That's what my problem is now. Terminally cirrhosis of the liver, and I was mostly it turned us like a loner. I would drink on my own, and I just didn't want to tell anybody.
Mr. Smith is now calling on the Ministry of Justice to speed up payment of compensation claims.
These are victims. They deserve the government to deal with it now and to come up with a formula for dealing with it so that these victims don't have to go through the long process of a civil claim, which is far, far too long for these people. Some will be dead. Some will be suffering for 3 or 4 or 5 years. And we really, as a just society, we can't allow that.
A Ministry of Justice spokesperson told us they weren't delaying release of compensation to the Medomsley victims, but added that many cases are still subject to the ongoing police investigation. Chris Jackson, BBC Look North, County Durham.